My name is Justin and I'm building a stationery company for my apartment. Last week I asked if you had any questions about running my cozy art business, and y'all came through. Today I'm gonna answer a whole bunch of questions from you guys. Everything from how I come up with my designs, to how I actually get people to my website, and the mistakes I've made along the way. And because I'm physically incapable of giving a short answer, we're gonna dive right in because your boy likes to yap. There's a whole bunch of questions, y'all. Thank you for showing up and showing out. This one comes from Mishka Larson Creations. You're using your own website, so how do you drive traffic? For me, content does a lot of the heavy lifting for the brand. I am by no means a content expert, but I'm learning and I'm slowly getting better at it. There are basically three parts of my content strategy. I post my written ideas on Threads and I try to do between 30 and 60 of those a week. And then I turn the best performers into TikTok videos. From there, the best TikTok videos become Instagram videos. And then the best Instagram videos ultimately become ads that I run. I absolutely use ads to drive people to my website. For context, I worked in advertising before starting my own business. My job was leading a team of people who created ads for brands digitally. The challenge though is that I'm not an expert at creating organic social content, and that's what I'm learning how to do now. What makes this system special is it's not relying on having to go viral. I think I've had like maybe 2 or 3 posts that went viral. This system is really about coming up with a good idea and giving that idea as much life as possible in as many ways as possible, and then allowing yourself to enjoy the practice of posting content regularly, which I actually kind of do like. Your boy likes to perform, if you can't tell. Speaking of websites, most first-time sellers don't lose customers at checkout. They lose them in the first 5 seconds. Not because the price is wrong or the product is off, but because the website doesn't look trustworthy enough. That first impression happens instantly online, and that's where .store changes everything. The moment someone sees your URL, they know, oh, this is a real store. And that matters because trusted stores don't just get clicks, they convert. Mr. Beast, Emirates, Lando Norris, and Rihanna all use .store. They could choose anything, and they chose .store because credibility matters when your name is on the line. You can grab your own .store domain for just 99 cents for your first year. Just use the link on screen and my code Justin to get the deal. Your name, your brand, more sales, all on .store. Now back to the questions. Okay, next question. How do you stop overthinking a design? This one came from @waxpaperribbon. I tend to work in batches and I really take advantage when the muse strikes. I will start several pieces all at the same time. I make everything on my iPad using Procreate. I can sit down and churn out a variety of pieces of art in a pretty short amount of time. A lot of times I like to think about, oh, I'm not trying to make something perfect now. Instead, I'm just trying to make something that's interesting to me. Get the idea out of my head. You get what I'm saying? And then when I'm under deadline, I'm just gonna go through all the pieces on my iPad and see what is in alignment with what I'm trying to push out the door. And so a lot of times I'll pull up an old draft. I might revise it a little bit, change the color palette, and then put that in the online shop or use it for a potential client project. So in reality, I'm working on the same piece multiple times. It could be multiple times over the course of multiple years, which is kind of crazy. There are some pieces on my iPad that I made literally 6 years ago. And it kind of depends on the mood that I'm in, on what I'm going to end up putting out next. I just kind of flip through and see what's calling me. The next question, also from Wax Paper Ribbon. How do you find inspiration? I'm definitely a collector. I have a Pinterest account that I'm obsessed with. It's the only social media I can do in the morning because, like, if you start scrolling before 10 a.m., it feels like it messes up my day. It throws me off. My phone is full of screenshots, and because of Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way, I actually take myself on an artist date every single week. I've been doing this now for almost 3 years, which is crazy to think about. Like, I will take myself to a store that I've never been to before. Sometimes it's a local paper goods store, but other times it's like a chain store, like At Home or a Marshall's or a TJ Maxx, and I'll just walk through and allow myself to get inspired by what I see. I think creativity is mostly pattern recognition. And one thing I've noticed, like let's say I'm going to the mall, I'll start to see trends emerge, and then that will create inspiration for me for the things that I want to create myself. Okay, based on that, I wanted to give you a rapid fire of my biggest inspirations, and we're gonna start with visual artists. So we got Matisse, Mickaleen Thomas, I hope I'm saying this right, Amadeo Modigliani, Emery Douglas, and Andy Warhol, especially Andy Warhol's illustrations. And then because I'm not just an artist, I'm also a writer. Here are some of my writing inspirations. Of course, David Ogilvy, Donald Miller, but primarily his autobiographical work. Shel Silverstein, favorite poems ever. Jules Feiffer, literally my favorite book of all time. I have it right here because I've read this like 30,000 times. Seth Godin and Rob Bell. Okay, the next question. What were some mistakes you made early on when starting out? This comes from @allthings_B. Honestly, my biggest mistake was not doing art markets fast enough. The fastest way to know if your product works or doesn't work is to see it in the hands of real people. There's something different about interacting with people that have never seen your work before. During Austin's studio tour in 2025, I did my first pop-up market here, and it was such a great learning experience. I got to very quickly understand like price points, like what products people are the most interested in, what types of people buy what types of work. And through that process, I kind of got to figure out like, who do I enjoy making art for? Yeah, if you are an artist and you want to start selling your work, hands down, no questions asked, do an art market as quickly as possible. And I'll tell you the truth, it's gonna suck because you're not gonna sell as much as you want. But if you can take that disappointment and use the information as data, like talk to the customers, see what they're responding to and why, you will quickly be able to iterate. For me, I did that first art market on weekend 1, and then on weekend 2 of Austin Studio Tour, I did a total revamp and was able to make even more money. It's literally the fastest way to up level your business. Okay, next question. Have you had to discontinue designs that you love but just weren't selling? This came from Brandon. Oh my gosh, Brandon, absolutely. Yes. So when I initially started my brand, I started with 30 different greeting cards and 30 different art prints because I wanted to get a wide scope of items so that I could test them with people and see how they respond to them. And the good news is there are clear winners and there are clear losers. Yeah, like sometimes people are gonna like it, and sometimes people are gonna be like, I don't know, that don't work for me. And what's tricky is, as the creator, sometimes I'll feel like this is fire, I know everybody's gonna want to buy it, and then that won't be the thing that people buy. And then there'll be these other moments where, you know, it's something that I actually don't specifically love myself, but I put it out because I thought a specific type of person would love it, and then that will be a hit. I had to learn not to think too deeply about the artwork that I'm creating and just allow myself to create what I create, put it out to the public, and let them decide if they want it. Yeah, you just never know what people are going to like and what they don't like. Okay, this next question comes from Richie6600. Are you open to doing collabs and partnerships? Yes, I am absolutely open to collabs and partnerships. SoCurious partners with storytellers, influencers, photographers, content creators, anybody that fully aligns with the mission. And I've actually got a SoCurious content network. You can sign up at SoCurious.co/social, and you'll see that like below, I guess. We could do gifted products, affiliate partnerships, or we can collaborate on a collection together. Now, if you want to do a branded collaboration with me, you need to be an influencer with a large following. There's no way around that. But if you are a content creator, I'm absolutely open to sending out free product to people in exchange for snapping a few photos of my brand. Next question comes from Slumber Party Lo-Fi. How do you print your collections? Do you print everything and ship from home? What is your take on print on demand? So I actually started with print on demand initially, but then I made the scary decision to invest in a very expensive printer, and it changed my life genuinely. It's called the Epson EcoTank 8550. It's the best thing I have ever purchased in my entire life. And now I print almost all of the test run of every first product at home first. this has been a game changer. You just buy really nice paper from Amazon and I can print most of the things at home myself. Oh my God, it's so useful. Now, the thing is, print on demand is not bad. Like, I think it's a useful way to start your business. But when you actually look at the margins that you're able to achieve, if you're doing any sort of advertising, it ends up, you're not going to make any money. By fulfilling the items myself, I'm able to increase my revenue like exponentially. The other aspect is I don't actually print everything myself at home. Once I finalize designs, I will send it out to print at a print shop. To start, I always recommend just go with Vistaprint. That's easy. But then once you kind of graduate from Vistaprint and you're ready to order more, you can look at other companies. One that I really like is called Cat Prints. That's a pretty good option. Next question. How do you launch new designs? How much do you experiment versus repeating what already works? And this one came from @MintFresca. I actually think experimentation is my strategy. I really like creating as many options as possible because then you can get really good feedback on what's resonating and what's not resonating. I think the benefit of being a small, cozy business is that I can come up with an idea on Tuesday and have it in the shop by Friday. And that is a unique differentiator. If I have an idea, I can make it happen as fast as I want it to happen. That's actually really cool. This next question came from Tiffany. What are you planning next? Tiffany, I think the biggest thing that's happening for me with the SoCurious brand is that I'm building something that's bigger than a stationery company. My focus is becoming making creativity accessible again, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. I have so many ideas for products, and starting in July, I'm committing to making one new product every 2 weeks. This is low-key scary because I'm like, oh my God, I have to come up with all these products. Like, how am I gonna come up with all these products? But I've been doing the mail club now for like over 6 months. So I have a variety of things that I kind of started, but that need a little bit of refinement. Think a digital community, coloring books, collage packs, DIY kits, like all different types of things that better help facilitate people connecting with their own creativity. Because I think that's really the value of the SoCurious brand. I believe that joy is the revolution. I want to reconnect people with their inner creativity. Yeah, basically, I'm trying to build the type of creative club I always wanted when I was growing up. And you're invited. Oh my gosh, I guess that's the end of the video. If you have any more questions, throw them in the comments below. I want you to check out my website, shop.socurious.co. There might be some cute things you want to buy. Okay, bye.